Hi and welcome. I'm Christy Rickman. I'm the Director of Transfer Advising and Student Transitions here at the University of Houston-Clear Lake. I'm so excited to be part of your transition and your new journey into the university. I was a transfer student, and the processes at the community colleges and universities I enrolled at were all different and many times confusing. I've dedicated my career to improving processes for transfer students and building pathways in order to help ensure your transfer to UHCL is as smooth as possible. The purpose of this video is to review key information that will help you as a new student to navigate the advising tools that you'll use to enroll in classes, to track your degree program, and ensure ultimately that you enroll in the correct classes here at UHCL. On the next slide is a brief overview of the topics that we'll cover today. This session is about an hour long. So this video, again, is designed for students who are admitted to the university. So if you're not admitted yet for summer or fall of 21, then do please connect with the admissions team. Best way to reach them is by email, admissions@uhcl.edu. Also, if you had applied for spring of 21 and did not enroll, then do please connect with them to update your application forward to summer or fall so you can get reprocessed for one of those new semesters. All right, so if you are admitted, then let's proceed. So some of the other things that I'm going to show you today is how to locate your UHCL username, how to set up your password to that account. I'm going to walk you through eServices, which is your main student portal. This is the place you will sign into to take any actions related to your enrollment here at UH Clear Lake. During this video, I'll also guide you through how to add classes to your shopping cart. I will also show you how to enroll in classes that are in your shopping cart. And then I'm also going to break down how to understand your class schedule. So not just about where your classes are and how to read that piece of it, but how to get to your professor's contact information, how to link to the textbook lookup, also looking at the modes of instruction. So again, with COVID, it's really important that you look at these details within your class schedule because they will be posted in there. So. Also very important to please watch this entire video. Again, I've put a lot of thought into this and trying to go over key information that I believe is valuable to you and helping you with that transition into the university. So again, going over those key resources that you're going to use or need as a student to navigate your degree. On the very last slide of this presentation is a QR code. And so that QR code will link you to our 7-question survey. So that is what tells us that you finished this video, and it also informs us to lift your hold so that your advising hold so that you can enroll in classes when registration is open, which it opens April 16th for the summer and the fall. And also we'll put you in queue to receive the supporting documents from my team. So within 3 to 4 business days, my team will also email you supporting documents to help you again with that transition to the university. All right, so why are we doing a transfer advising video? So this is something that's brand new. So we piloted this in the spring semester with our new students who got admitted after January. So we had like a 2-week window to get them advised and enrolled in classes. And so we came up with this video process, and it turns out that about 80% of the students who went through that video process really valued this. And so we're going to continue it forward. We decided as a group to go ahead and offer this to students. Again, the best part about it is that you get key information, and 2, right after that, we will lift your advising hold so that if it's during registration, you can immediately go in and enroll in classes. So you'll use your advisement report and enroll in classes. And so again, it's helped make this process more efficient for our new transfer students. And then if you need more support, we also offer that as well. So this is just step 1 of a step 2 process. All right, so some of the things that my team does. So one of the things in the state of Texas is there is a Texas state core curriculum. And so there's a coding system that is involved with that core curriculum system. And so my team is trained in thoroughly knowing and understanding the core of all of our respective institutions here in the state of Texas. So it's a lot of information to know. But the key thing is that the courses don't have to match. It's the core coding system that has to match up. And so that's what my team is trained to look for. So we'll thoroughly go over that and make sure that your core curriculum is honored if you are transferring from a public institution in Texas. We will also thoroughly review your advisement report. So your advisement report is your online degree plan. This plan will incorporate your transfer classes. So we're going to make sure that your transfer credits are applying toward the requirements correctly in your online degree audit. And if they're not, then we take action to fix that so that it's populating correctly for you, because we want to make sure that you enroll in the correct classes here each semester. We also, after we've thoroughly reviewed your transfer credits, also please let us know if you're currently in progress with classes in the spring. We'll keep that in mind when we draft your degree plan for you and recommend classes for you. So we don't want to recommend classes that you're already currently taking in the spring. So again, we can't see those. So please tell us if you are currently in spring classes. Typically, when you apply to the university, if you were in progress with those at that time, those won't get updated. So we rely on you to give us that information. They will get updated eventually by the admissions office, but again, probably not in time for you to enroll in classes. So key thing is just letting us know. So we will recommend classes for your first semester to help bridge your transition to the university. So we know what classes are most critical for you to take to help ensure you have a smooth transition into the university. So we're going to tell you that information. We're also going to send you a transfer advising worksheet, which will list out those classes in order of recommendation. So you'll be able to see what we've advised. So if you've already enrolled in classes, do take a look at that worksheet and make sure it lines up with what we've recommended. We're also going to draft your candidate plan of study. This is a more concise view of your degree requirements. And so it's an unofficial tool that the college advisors utilize to track a student's progress. So it's a parallel planning document. So you're going to have your advisement report, which is your official degree tracking tool. You also have the candidate plan of study. So between the two of those tools, you'll be using those to pick your classes every semester. So again, and also to track your progress toward the bachelor's degree. So most bachelor's degrees are about 120 hours. And so transfer students typically come in with about 60 hours complete. And so that leaves you with about 60 hours that you're going to do here at the university to finish out that 120-hour degree. All right. And again, we're going to email that document to you. We also we'll also set up your assigned advisor in the system. So again, you won't be connecting with them until after the semester gets started. Typically around October or so, you'll connect with your assigned advisor will be your go-to up until classes start and you get into your first semester. So, but then at that point, you will be fully transitioned to your college advisor. You would just be connecting back with us if there were some transfer classes that we were helping you to get credit for, and I'll go into that a little bit later. Speaking of, we are your transfer credit advocates. So I'm very passionate about supporting our transfer students. So I want to make sure that your transition to this university is as smooth as possible. It pains me when I see a student lose transfer credit. So we do everything in our power to advocate for your credits. If they are applicable or appear to be applicable, we will help you to try to get them escalated and evaluated further. So that is one of the things that I will say, be on the lookout for. So if you're coming to us from out of state, private, or even if you have credits from another country, so if you're an international student, you may have credits that are coming in from another country. And so these credits typically by admissions will be evaluated as electives. And so one of the things that I train my team on is to thoroughly go through those. Don't just take it as an elective. If it sounds like it's one of our classes, let's get it evaluated further. So they're gonna, if that situation fits your scenario, we're going to ask you for a syllabus. We're gonna say, hey, can you get a syllabus for the world arts course that you took at this college in this semester? And so that information typically is archived at most colleges. So you can always go back and get a syllabus. So if you don't have a copy of it anymore, you can always contact the department of who taught that program or taught that class. And you typically can get a copy of that electronic syllabus and then just email it back to the advisor. Again, we're not the one to make the decision about the credits, but we are the ones to help advocate and to route that document so that it can be reviewed by the faculty who can make those decisions about the class. All right, so again, one of the main things I'm going to go over today is your e-services center. So we don't manage this, but again, in order for me to get you to the pieces that I need you to know, which is your advisor report, I got to walk you through how to get into e-services. So e-services is your main student portal. You're going to use this to access financial aid information, academic information, to register for classes. If you have any holds or things that you need to take action on, again, e-services is the main platform that you're going to go to take action as a student. So the first thing that we're going to do is I'm going to walk you through how to set up your password and also to how to access your username. So your UHCL username is your primary tool that you're going to use to sign into most of the UHCL technology. So e-services, Blackboard, Navigate app, library, anything that requires a login, you're going to use this username. And so your username is your last name, it's your first initial, and it's 4 numbers. And so the 4 numbers is what's going to be unique to you. And so again, the best way that I've found to get to this, there are some ways that you can like email and get the information emailed to you and you have to respond to it and click on links and things like that. But I've found this way, which is through the faculty and staff accounts, so that even new students can use this to access and set up their username. So you do it right there, all on one screen. There's no emailing back and forth that happens. So, so the first thing that you'd want to do is pull up the UHCL homepage. So uhcl.edu, that'll get you to the UHCL homepage. On the top right, you're going to see a search button, and it's going to have like a little magnifying glass. So I want you to click on that. And then it's going to pull a little drop down. So you can type in EULA. That stands for End User License Agreement. And so when you hit search or enter, it's going to then pull up some search results. And one of the first ones is going to say faculty and staff accounts, university computing and telecommunications. So that is to our UCT page for faculty and staff accounts. And so again, as students, you can also use this very same tool. So click on that link. It's going to pull up that page, and then under one of the initial paragraphs, it's going to say new employees, and then within that paragraph, you're going to see EULA in blue font. I want you to click on that. That is going to be hyperlinked, and it's going to take you to the page where you can actually start this process. And then from there, you're going to see an option to be able to say, I am a UHCL student. So you're going to select that oval, which is the second one there. You're going to enter your 7-digit student ID number. So this is your unique ID number. So about 5 days after you submitted your application through applytexas.org, you would have received an email from the admissions staff, and it would have given you your UHCL ID number. So that ID number is your main identifier. Anytime you contact a staff member, they're going to say, what's your UHCL ID number? So please make note of that ID number and save it. And then you're going to enter your date of birth, so month, day, and year. And then you're going to click sign in. From there, it's going to ask you some security questions. You're going to respond and set up those security questions. And then it will give you an opportunity to set up your password. It'll tell you the parameters of that password. Once you set that up, then it's going to display your UHCL username. So it's going to say your username is your last name, your first initial, and your 4 numbers. So it will be very specific to you. So take a picture of that, write that down, put it in your phone under notes. So again, make sure that you save that, because that username and that password is what you're going to use to log in moving from this point forward. All right, so now that we have your username set up, so right after you have that, the first thing I want you to do is go back to the uhcl.edu homepage, and we're going to click on e-services. On the top left of any page that you navigate to on the UHCL website, you will always see the link to e-services on the top left. It's always going to be there. So go ahead and click on that blue font that says e-services, and then it's going to pull up a page for you to log in. So you're going to enter your username and password. So last name, first initial, 4 numbers, and then that password that you just set up. After you get logged into e-services, you'll notice several tiles here. And so the most common tile that you're going to use is the Student Center. As a new student or at the beginning of each semester, you'll also use the financial aid tool or tile, which will connect you to your financial aid information. You'll be able to accept awards, decline awards, all through that financial aid section. As a new student, you're also going to access the orientation tile. So that one's actually not in one of my screenshots here, but the orientation tile is going to give you access to sign up for new student orientation. So every new student must go through orientation. So that is not what this is. So this is an advising informational video to help you get enrolled in classes, but orientation is a broader session. So that session goes over policy information. You're going to hear from like the dean of students. You're going to hear from financial aid. You'll receive instructions and guidance from our student business services office on how to make payments, information about our payment plan structure, payment deadlines, ways, all the different ways that you can pay. So again, that session is a broader session. And so that is required for all new students. So if you are a transfer student, you're going to go to transfer student orientation. If you're an international student, you're going to go to international student orientation. If you are a freshman transfer or a freshman, you're going to go to SOAR, which is student orientation and registration. So that session, again, is specific to freshmen. Also, if you are a freshman, the other thing that you're going to do is a pre-orientation, which is where you'll be able to connect with the orientation leader. Even students, transfer students, if you want to connect with the orientation leaders, this would be a fellow student that you want to connect with and just ask some general questions. That's also an option that you can do, is to connect with through the pre-orientation, to connect with the orientation leader, just to have some one-on-one. But you still got to go through orientation, which is the official session. Those are about 2.5 hours over Zoom. The first one will be in May. There will be another one in June, another one in July, and then the final one in August. So again, if you're enrolled or if you're admitted for summer or fall, you just have to attend one of those sessions. So one in May, one in June, one in July, or one in August before the semester begins in the fall, so that you don't get a hold on your account that prevents you from moving forward after that. So again, look out for that, do sign up for it. The sign up, I believe, will start in April. So you still have some time before you'll see that orientation tile. All right, so after you click on the Student Center, you'll be presented with like your main dashboard. So this is your informational dashboard. I like to call it a dashboard because it's very similar to the dashboard of a car, right? So on a car, you have all your gauges, your speedometer, your gas tank, your oil light, your temperature gauge. So you have all that information. So here in your Student Center dashboard, you have financial information, you have your personal information. It displays any like holds or to-do list items that you need to take care of. So pretty much everything that you need to take action to on as a student is going to be displayed here on this page. So if there's any items pending. So one of the most common things that you're going to see under to-do lists is if you are under the age of 22 is the meningitis vaccination requirement. So that is important for you to take action on immediately. So if you again, are required to turn in that documentation to the registrar's office, please go through this link. So right underneath the to-do list right here, you can actually see a hyperlink that says details upload documentation. You can actually click on that link and it'll take you to say, there'll be a list for the meningitis and you can say upload documents. You can actually upload your vaccination record right there, hit submit, and then it goes to the registrar's office. And then once they process it, they'll lift your hold and then you'll be able to enroll in classes. So that hold does prevent you from registering for classes. So again, please do look at that and take actions. All right, so for today, again, we're working on advising and academic information. So today we're going to go into My Academics. So it's the fourth hyperlink there in that top section on the left. So My Academics. And this is going to take you to your My Academics information. So this is where you go for anything related to your transfer credits, your UHCL courses. So this is the page that you're going to go to. So this displays, you can quickly access your transfer credit evaluation report. You can see how your courses were evaluated. You can get an enrollment verification letter. So say you're on your parents' insurance and you need something to provide to the insurance company that confirms that you're enrolled in 12 hours. Then you can click on that link where it says enrollment verification request, and then it will generate a letter for you to confirm that you're in those classes. Also, once you've enrolled and you've completed a couple of semesters and you need to go ahead and request an official transcript from UACL, you'll do it right here from this place. Also, if you want to view your unofficial, so sometimes your grades will post more quickly in here than they will under the grades section. So if you pull up your unofficial transcript, sometimes you'll see your grades there more quickly than the advertised date. All right, so for today's purposes, again, we're going to go into view my advisement report. So again, this is your official degree planning tool and tracking tool. So it's tracking your progress toward the bachelor's degree and your specified concentration or specialization if your program has that. So it will incorporate your transfer credits. It's going to display how those credits are being utilized and satisfying different components. And then it also displays what you have remaining. And so all of those classes that you have remaining are hyperlinked and they're clickable. So you can click on it, go right to the class schedule, add the class to your cart that you want, and then keep going back through your audit, picking classes based on what it's showing that you need. Not, again, it's not using a tool that's not live. So again, this is your degree requirements that it's tracking. Okay, if your program does have a specialization or concentration and you did not declare that during the application phase, then your advisement report will not display correctly. So it's important that we get that updated. So at the very end of this video, when you complete the survey, the 7-question survey, I have a question in there that says, if your concentration or specialization needs to be updated, tell me what that is. When you submit that to me, I will update it based on what you put in there. So again, please clarify that. So if your program does have that. Now, I have some common majors that we see this for. So some of the most common majors that don't list their concentrations at the application phase, and I think actually the application is the problem there. So art and design major. So if you are an art and design major, you must declare graphic design, studio, or EC through 12 teacher certification. So if you want to be an art teacher, you must declare that concentration. The other one is fitness and human performance. So if you are a fitness and human performance major, you also must declare your concentration. So those different concentrations are pre-physical therapy, pre-physician's assistant, pre-occupational therapy, pre-chiropractic medicine, exercise science, and health promotions, and even the EC through 12 PE teacher certification. So again, please let us know what your intended concentration is if you are a fitness and human performance major. The other one, which is the most common one that we see challenges with, is for future teachers. And so future teachers, your degree program is actually called interdisciplinary studies. And so if you're teaching, if you want to teach at the elementary level or the middle school level, then your program is interdisciplinary studies. And so the reason for that is because at those levels, you're teaching multiple disciplines. And so that's why they call it interdisciplinary studies. What occurs most often is that students apply for the early childhood care and education program because that sounds the most relatable to a teacher. But that program is actually designed for students who want to work with children's 5 years and younger. So that's working in child development centers or learning centers. Again, so if you want to work at an ISD as a teacher, then you need to switch over to interdisciplinary studies. Tell us what level, EC through 6 or 4 through 8, and then also what concentration you want to do. So for example, EC through 6 has early childhood as a concentration. They have ESL, which is English as a second language. They have bilingual, they have reading, they have special ed. So again, depending on what you want to do, what you want to specialize in, we need to know that so we can update that so that your advisement report pulls up your information correctly. If you are teaching at the high school level, you actually declare your major there, subject that you want to teach. So if you want to be a math teacher, you're actually going to be majoring in math. and then you're going to be adding on teacher certification. So again, just make sure that that part, that typically comes in correctly. So it's just the elementary and middle school levels that end up coming over a little incorrect. All right, so after you click on My Advisement Report, so again, that top hyperlink, it's going to then generate your advisement report. So it's going to generate your audit. So it takes it a few seconds because it's actually going to be pulling in all your transfer credits. It's going to be plugging them into the places that they need to go. And then after that, it's going to then display what you have remaining to focus on. So again, as you complete things, they pull up and out of the way so that they're not in your way, so that you just focus on looking at the classes that you still need. The one thing I would say is here at the top under My Academic Requirements is you want to make sure that that says UH Clear Lake. So if you also applied to University of Houston or University of Houston downtown, then sometimes you're going to see a drop down right there. And so it may default to UH or it may default to UH downtown. So again, use the drop down and toggle between the institutions if you are accepted to multiple University of Houston system institutions. If this is blank, then that means there is something going on with your academic record. So again, could be that you applied for the spring 21 semester and you just need to update with the admissions team up to summer or fall. If it's blank, it also could mean that your specialization or concentration is not declared. So again, make sure that you tell us that whenever you're submitting the survey. If you're not sure and you haven't logged in by the time you submit the survey, then email us afterwards, transfer@uhcl.edu, and just let us know send us a screenshot. So tell us what you see so that we can quickly work to resolve what's going on. And then also clarify what your intended major and concentration is, just in case that is what's going on. All right. And then again, the top part of this is going to have your policy information. I always advise students to scroll about 1/3 of the page down past the policy information. So as you take classes here, it's going to start tracking your progress toward meeting those policy requirements. But again, as a new student, that is not going to make sense to you until after you've completed classes. So let's go ahead and scroll past the policy information. And about 1/3 of the way down the page, you're going to see a section called University Core. So the way the degree audits are all structured, so no matter what your major is, the University Core is first, and then it'll have your lower level major classes, and then it's going to have your upper level major requirements, and then it's going to have your specialization or your concentration at the very end of the degree audit. So again, it's always going to start with the University Core. So policy information, University Core, lower level major requirements, upper level major requirements, and then your specialization. So that's the general gist of the advisement report and the structure of it. So in this example, this is showing that the student has completed most of their core requirements. And it's showing that they still need Psych 1100, which is learning framework. So at the very bottom of the page, you see that it's showing that that is needed. If your advisement report is showing you that you need Psych learning frameworks or public speaking, which is another requirement here. So if it's showing that you need anything in this option area or component option area here, my advice is that you don't enroll in those until you hear from us. So, 3 to 4 business days after you complete this, the survey at the end of this, you're going to get an email from my team with recommended classes for you to choose from. And we're going to tell you on the degree plan that we create whether or not you really need these classes or if you have something that's substituting there. We will also go into your advisement report and submit directives to show that that's been satisfied. Again, in the state of Texas, the core coding system protects transfer students like yourself. So if you're coming from a state institution in Texas, then that coding system is there to protect you. So most of the other schools will have other classes. So we only have public speaking and we only have learning frameworks, but we substitute any of those other classes from those other schools in these requirements. And so you may have a course called Introduction to Speech Communications. You may have a class called Interpersonal Communications, Beginning Spanish, American Sign Language. There's so many different options that other colleges offer that could possibly go in that spot. The other thing is if you're a science and engineering major, you may have extra math classes that actually substitute in place of public speaking. Most engineering majors or science majors take college algebra, pre-calculus, and calculus. And so typically those other 2 math classes that you had to take also get coded in such a way that we can use them in place of public speaking. So again, those are things that my team is trained on to review for you to make sure that you get credit for anything that you've earned and that you don't take anything unnecessarily here. Same thing for the sciences. So if your degree program requires more than the 2 science classes and labs that you took for the core, and you had to take other ones for your major, then also those sometimes can substitute for like the learning frameworks of public speaking. So again, check with us before you take anything under those option area requirements, which is here at the bottom. Here's another example of the university core. So in this example, this student is completely core complete. So you can tell that because the whole section is collapsed. And so the little arrow is pointing to the right. It's not pointing down to show that there's anything needed underneath there. So this student can move beyond the core and just move right into their major requirements. So lower level major requirements, then they start focusing. So that would be what they'd focus on finishing any of those. And then they move into the upper level major requirements and the specialization. So again, so this example is using the management, business management degree plan. Again, not all of you are business management majors, but again, the general layout is the same. So I'm going to go ahead and show you the next slide. And on this next slide, again, we're in the lower level business core classes. And so every one of your programs will have something similar to this. And so one example I want to show you is how to look at your transfer courses or how to locate them. And so if you click the little arrow, so in this example, I clicked the arrow next to business computer applications. So that was collapsed. It was actually not showing as needed, but I clicked the arrow so that I could show you an example of a course that's been satisfied. So in this example, business computer applications was transferred. You can see the T, which tells you it was transferred, and you can see the grade with an A. And so TA shows that it was transferred with an A, and the green check mark means it's been satisfied. All right, and so again, you'll see that specific thing. Now, if you are a business major, please take note of this. If your advisement report indicates that you need ISAM 1305 or Business Principles 1301, then our advice is not to enroll in these until you receive the advising worksheet from us. Because there is a rule that if you started college prior to fall of 16 for business computer applications, you may be exempt from that. So again, if you started before fall of 16, then you could be possibly exempt from that. The other one is the business principles. So if you started college prior to fall of 17, then you could also be exempt from business principles. So we do have to find electives to fit in those places if you are exempt. But again, that's something my team will help you with. So if you're a business major, then please make note of that. All right. And so in this example, it's showing that this person still needs finite math. So for this, we're going to go ahead and select the finite math course. And so to do that, so where it gives the description, that is blue font, and that is all hyperlinked. And so to actually look at the class schedule, you click on Math for Business and Social Sciences. So we click on the math. And once we click on that, it's going to then allow us to review the course, the requirements, and if there's any prerequisites. So under the description, it is important that you review the prerequisites. So some of our programs will list the prerequisites out, and it's kind of on the honor system that you're verifying that you meet those prerequisites. The reason we don't enforce prerequisites in the registration process is because 80% of our students are transfer students, and 80% of our students are currently enrolled in classes this spring at another college. And so we don't want that to hold you up from enrolling when registration opens on April 16th, you're still going to be working on those spring classes. So if you are in those classes, we want you to be able to go ahead and enroll in the next class. So say you're in chemistry 1311 and you need to enroll in chemistry 1312 in the fall with us, then we want you to be able to enroll in that class without being held up. So some programs do enforce it, and you're going to have to go through us if it does say, hey, you have a prerequisite error. If that happens, I want you to email us a screenshot of your class schedule from wherever you're currently enrolled to confirm that you are in the prereq, and that you also are going to send us the very specific class section that you want to be enrolled in, and we'll manually enroll you based on you currently being in that class. Now, if you don't get that updated transcript to admissions after your grades post at that community college or university, then when the semester starts, the departments will do a prereq check. And if you don't have prereqs in the system by that time, they will kick you out of those classes. So again, we can help you get enrolled, but it is important that if you are currently in those prereqs, that you get that updated transcript sent to admissions as soon as your grades post for spring and summer if you're taking summer classes. All right, so in this example, again, we're clicked on the view class sections, and that's that button right there on the top right. And so when we click on that, it's going to actually connect you to be able to select the term. And so it will always default to the past term. So if this class is offered every semester, it's going to show you the past term. So this one defaulted to spring. I changed it to fall of 21, and then I clicked show sections. And so once I changed that and clicked show sections, it then provided me with all the sections that are available for Math 1324 this fall at UH Clear Lake. And there's actually 4 sections. So for this example, I'm only showing you 3 of them. And for this example, I'm going to show you again how to actually select the class and how to add it to your shopping cart. So we're going to go with the first section here, Tuesday, Thursdays, 10 a.m. to 11:20. And right next to the green dot, so the green dot says that the class is open, and it has the words select in blue font spelled out next to that. So in order to select the class, you have to click the word select. So let's go ahead and do that. And then after that, it's going to take you to a page where it will then say, please confirm adding this to your shopping cart. You add it to your shopping cart. And then there is a link at the bottom left of the page. It's a hyperlink, and it's going to be the words spelled out, return to academic advisement report. It's very important that you click on that hyperlink. Don't use the back buttons because then it's going to reset your whole advisement report, and you have to go all the way from the top and get back to where you were. If you use the return to my advisement report link, then it'll take you right back to that same section that we were just at for the math class, and you just keep scrolling. And then you just pick your next class, add it to your shopping cart, return to my advisement report, and then keep adding classes to your cart like that. So in this example, again, still staying on the management degree plan just for advising purposes or guiding purposes. So now we're going to look at some upper level classes. So now we're in the major or business core classes for a management student. And so I know that every management student and every general business student should start out with Management 3301, which is management theory and practice. So if you've done all your lower level business core, then this is one of your first classes that you're going to pick. And so management theory and practice, it gives you an overview, gives you the prereqs. So again, it's pretty open class. It's offered every semester. So let's go ahead and click on view class sections. And then from here, it's going to give us the detailed options. So we do have to change the term again. So again, it'll default to spring of 21. You're going to change that to fall of 21 or summer, and then click show sections. And so here again, you'll see different options. So I'm actually displaying only 6 sections, but there's 12 sections total for this class. So again, this is a very common class. So there's quite a few sections available for this one. Now you'll also see a variety of options for the modes of instruction. So you're going to see some face-to-face options during the day. So this first one is a Monday, Wednesday, 10 to 11:20. The second one is Monday evening, 7 to 9:50. So most of our evening classes are 3-hour blocks. So they'll either be 4 to 6:50 or 7 to 9:50. So again, most of the face-to-face classes that will be in those 3-hour blocks once per week. If you're an education major, then most of your classes will all be 3-hour blocks once per week. And then you'll see another, again, here's one that's Tuesday during the day, 1 to 3:50. And then on the right, you see the options that I have here. When it has TBA for the days and TBA for the start times, that means that this class is 100% online. So anytime you see that TBA, 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 then that means the class is 100% online. So again, particularly under days and start time, and the way that you get to that or to understand the course in more detail is you can select the class. So again, in this example, under section 5, we're going to select this class. And under this class, you can actually see, again, the overview of the class, and you can also see under location. So this is really important. If you are, a business student, if you are a social science major of any sort under human sciences and humanities, then this is really important because there are some programs that are 100% online. So we have an anthropology degree, criminal justice and criminology, general business, and we have the public service leadership program, which are completer programs that offer the upper level courses 100% online. So we guarantee those classes for our UHCL online students. So these classes are restricted just for those students in those programs. But you will find for most of these programs that there is a complementary or parallel section that's available to Clear Lake students. So it could be 100% online, but you need to, for location, it must say UH Clear Lake. So let's go back and look back at section 4, which was the other one that we were looking at. So let's select that one. Okay, and so in this example, you can actually see for location, it says UH Clear Lake. So, and it's 100% online. So this is a class, it's 100% online. And so as a student in a face-to-face program or a traditional program, not one of those online programs, you can take this class, which is 100% online. All right. Now, so again, you're going to go back and forth. You're going to continue to build your shopping cart. So again, go into that advisement report, get familiar with it, add classes to your shopping cart. So my advice is that you just build your shopping cart with as many classes that are doable for you. And then once you get down to, you've added everything that you believe you possibly could take, then scroll all the way up to your advisement report. So the very top of your advisement report, there will be 4 tabs. And the 3rd tab is going to say enroll. And so I want you to click on the enroll tab. And so that's going to take you to actually look at your shopping cart. So from there, you'll be able to view your shopping cart, every class that you put in your shopping cart. So say you put in 2 sections of Management 3301. So one face-to-face, maybe you did that one that was in the evening and then one of the online ones. So you want to make your determination of which one of those you want, click the little trash can next to the class that you don't want, kick it out, and then proceed to step 2 of 3. And so you'll get a next step. So you'll proceed to step 2 of 3. It's going to then ask you to confirm your classes and finish enrolling. And so at that point, you will click finish enrolling, and then it's going to try to enroll you in the classes. And so at that point, you're going to either get a green check mark or you're going to get an X. And so if you get a green check mark under status, then obviously that's good. That means you got enrolled in that. But if you have a red X, please look at the note. It will be specific and tell you why you didn't enroll in that. So it could be a time conflict. It could be that you picked the UHCL online section and you're not a UHCL online student. Could be that you don't meet prereqs. So again, if it's a situation where you're currently in the prereq, then email us that proof, email us what class you want to enroll in, or tell us it's in your shopping cart and we'll go take a look at that. And then make sure you include your 7-digit ID number so we can look at your record. So again, those are some of the things that you may see. So take a screenshot of the error. If you're just not sure and you're not able to troubleshoot it yourself, then email us transfer@uhcl.edu and we will take a look at your account and see what's going on. All right. And then, so once you enroll in classes, again, the other thing I want to walk you through is how to look at your detailed class schedule. So when you go back to your student center, so I want you to click on the little home. You're going to go back to the student center tile, and then you're going to go into your dashboard again. So under the academic section of your dashboard, you're actually now going to see your class schedule. And so your class schedule will be displayed. So I want you to click on the link that says weekly schedule. And so the weekly schedule is going to take you to a view where you can see your classes per the day of the week and how they flow. But at the top of the page, there's a toggle where you can go from weekly to list view. And I want you to change it to list view, which is on the left. So click detailed class view. And then from there, it's going to look like this example. So it's going to list out your classes. You'll see the little status that shows you that you're enrolled. You'll also be able to look at the instruction modes. So again, instruction modes for the summer will still be mostly virtual, so 100% online, or the online asynchronous or online synchronous using Teams or Zoom. But for the fall, the University Administration indicated that UHCL is going to transition back to offering face-to-face classes. So again, to look at those details, they are incorporating some different formats like less than 50% online and more than 50% online, 100% online. So there's going to be different things going on in the fall semester. So again, coming back to this will be helpful so you can look at those details. The way that you get to the details is the section number. So in this example, you'll actually see the section numbers are in blue font and they have an underline. So those are all hyperlinked. So in this example, let's click on section 8. And so section 8 brings us to the details of that class. Now, what I like about this page is that you can quickly get your professor's preferred email through their curriculum vitae. You see the little CV and the little paperclip underneath that. When you click on that, make sure your pop-up blocker is turned off. But when you click on it, it's going to open up a new window and it's going to be your professor's resume. The other nice thing about this is that you'll be able to see if that professor has earned their doctorate, and you'll know to address them by Dr. Guerrero, not Mrs. or Mr., depending on, you know, the class that you're in. So again, the best advice that I can give you when you're addressing your professor is to call them professor and their last name. That's the safest thing. So, you know, if they do just have their master's degrees, which is what I have, if they just have their master's degree, then again, just calling them professor and their last name is the safest and most professional way to navigate that relationship with your professor. But if they do have their doctorate, then I would say Dr. so-and-so, because they've earned that, right? So, and we all strive to be in that place. So again, use their credentials if you do see that in their curriculum vitae. The other thing that's really helpful, I think, by looking at the curriculum vitae, like say you're a computer science major and you get to go in and see what research, what programming expertise that your professor has, and you can kind of, connect with them and say, hey, I see that these are your areas of expertise. I'm really interested in that. Is there any opportunities for me to do research and shadow you and be connected? I would say that's one of the great things about our campus is that our professors are accessible. They are here. They're going to know who you are. They're going to want to, be involved in your development and helping you reach those goals. So you're not going to just be a number here. They are going to know who you are and they're going to care about you. So that is one of the key things that I love about UH Clear Lake is that our faculty are just amazing. They want to help, so reach out to them if you have questions and you just want to be more involved and connected in the field or what their specialties are. All right, so the other thing that you'll know here is that it will link you to, again, class notes for the class, or any additional notes that they have about it. The other thing is the link to the textbooks. So you can click that hyperlink on the bottom left. It says link to textbook lookup, and that will actually link you right to the university bookstore. You can get the details about the class, renting the book, buying it used, electronic versions. The other thing too is that they will price match like Amazon or Chegg. So if you find better values through one of those companies, they'll price match it. So share that information with them. They'll price match the books. So again, I would encourage you to utilize the bookstore, especially if you like the books in person. It's a lot easier to go and pick them up here at the university. All right. All right, the Navigate Student app. So again, this is an app that we implemented spring of 2019. So we've continued to broaden this app. We're continuing to even broaden it more now. This app is designed to connect you to different resources here at the university. So it's not designed for you to enroll in classes through it or to register for classes or anything like that, but it's designed to connect you to resources. So the key thing that we launched with this app was the ability for students to schedule an appointment with their advisor through this app. We've now added on all the tutoring units. So Math Center, Writing Center, Student Success Center, academic coaching. So like for time management or note taking. Orientation is starting to use the app as well for scheduling appointments. We have veteran services coming on board with it. Financial aid wants to come on board, career services. So we're going to have a lot more services and resources under here that you can schedule appointments with through this tool. But even right now, even without those offices being fully online with scheduling, you can still access their website. So there is a button here, which is blue, and it has like the little, looks like a little notebook with a little person on front of it called resources. And the resources actually is the quickest way to find a resource here at the university. So you click on resource and then you narrow it down by academic or non-academic, and then it will give you a list of resources. And if you click on, so for instance, say you want to set up your accommodation. So say you utilize accommodations previously at another college and you want to set those up here and see what accommodations you could receive here at the university. So that would be through our Accessibility Support Center. So that would be one of the first ones in the list. And when you click on Accessibility Support Center, you're going to see a brief description of what they do, the services they provide. You're going to see their URL, so the link to their homepage, contact information, office hours, and you can, within the app, click on the URL. It will take you to the live website. You can actually, as a new student, click on New Student Application, fill out your past experience with accommodations, what you're needing assistance with, what's been helpful to you, submit that, and then somebody from Accessibility Support Center will reach out to you. So, and then once you're done, you click done, and it takes you right back into the app, and you can continue looking for other services or resources here at the university. So it is the quickest way, again, to see what services we have available to support you as a student. Also at the orientation, we will go into a little bit more detail about the app. I'm actually the administrator for the app, so I have many roles that I play here at the university. And so again, if you have trouble signing into it, you would reach out to navigate@uhcl.edu, and that will be me. But again, you're not going to be using the app to schedule an appointment as a new student. It would be after the semester begins that you would start using it. But again, you can go ahead and sign into it. Once you have your username and password, you'll be able to sign into it to, again, look at those resources and navigate through that information. But again, for scheduling, you'll use that feature after the semester begins. All right, so we are at the end. So option one, so again, at the very end of this presentation, you're going to tell us how you would like to proceed with enrolling in classes. So option one is that you want to register on your own. So you are going to use your advisement report. You're going to enroll in classes based on what's on that advisement report is showing as needed. We will then, after you submit your survey, we will lift your advising hold so that if it's April 16th or after, you can then enroll in classes. Also, 3 to 4 business days after that, you're going to receive an email from somebody from my team that will include the transfer advising worksheet, which has your recommended classes and other key information. And you'll have that candidate plan of study. So we call it the CPS. And so that's that unofficial degree tracking tool, which is that more concise document. Option two is to register during a group advising and registration session. So if you, again, enroll on your own, fill out the survey, we'll lift your hold. You'll still use your advisement report to enroll in classes, but say you're running into issues and you just want a little bit more help. And so you could sign up for group advising and registration. So we're limiting those to 20 students. So when you get into that, we'll have breakout sessions. And so we'll break out into like no more than 5 people per breakout session. And then we're going to walk you through, we're going to say, log into eServices, pull up your advisement report and start picking classes. And then one of my team members will go through and make sure that you're signing up for the correct classes, or if you're having prereq issues, they can then override you into those classes. So again, it's just another service that we're providing. So the first session that we're doing for the group advising will be on Tuesday, April 20th. and that will be at noon. That we'll have that available. So the sign up for this will begin March 10th. All right, and then option 3 is to schedule an individual advising session. So maybe you have a unique situation and you want a one-on-one appointment with an advisor. We are available. We want to support you. So if you need that additional help, please do feel free to select option 3. The way that we're scheduling, or the way that we're connecting with students for option 3, is that once you submit the survey, we'll go in and lift your hold, and then we're going to set you up in a system, and you're going to get an email that will go to your UHCL email account. So again, make sure that you've set up that login to your username so that you can go into your Outlook and get signed in. Your Outlook account is the same as your username. It just has @uhcl.edu at the end of it. So it'll be your last name, first initial, 4 numbers @uhcl.edu. So again, we'll send you a unique link, and you'll click on that link and it'll link you right to our schedule. You can select whatever day and time works for you. Or you can call our front desk. So you can call 281-283-3068 or 281-212-1615. And just let them know that you completed the video and that you're seeking to schedule that individual appointment. So again, you don't have to wait for us to send the email. If you want to go ahead and call, again, after you've done the survey at the end of this, you can go ahead and set that up. All right, so here's just a quick overview of everything, again, that I've talked about today. So next steps. So again, you're going to access the QR code, which is on the next slide. You're going to complete the 7-question survey that it's going to link you to. Again, that survey is very important. That is what's going to tell us that you finished watching this video and for us to lift your hold so that you can enroll in classes when registration is open on April 16th and after. If you are admitted for summer 2021, then you'll be eligible to enroll in May Mini, summer, and fall all at the same time when the system opens on April 16th. Students admitted for fall of 21, you're only eligible to enroll in fall of 21 classes during open registration. So you can request through admissions to move your application materials back to summer if you would like to enroll in the summer or May Mini. So again, if you are interested in that, connect with admissions, and there is a form that you can fill out to have your application updated. Now, if you are utilizing FAFSA, so if you rely on grants or loans, tips. So if you are starting in the summer and you want to utilize your financial aid, you must submit the 2020-21 FAFSA to UHCL in order to be considered for summer 21 aid. That is the end of that last year's application. For the fall and the spring, so for fall of 21 and spring of 22, you have to submit the 2021-2022 FAFSA to UHCL. UHCL school code is 011711. Now connect with financial aid if you have any additional questions about this. I don't work in financial aid, but again, this is, I know, an important piece for a lot of our students, so I just want to provide that general guidance. Now they will also be presenting at one of the orientations. So again, sign up for one of those orientations if you have questions. But again, our financial aid team are amazing and you can reach out to them before then. All right, you have made it to the end. Thank you so much for your time and your patience. Again, pull out your phone. If you have an iPhone, pull out the camera, hover the camera over the screen. It is going to pull up the QR code. It'll use the QR code reader, and that's built into the iPhone, and you'll be able to click the link. It'll pop up on the top of your iPhone. Click that. It's going to take you to our 7-question survey where you can indicate, again, how you want to enroll, whether you want to do it on your own, group advising or individual advising. And then tell us if you need to update your concentration or if you're currently in progress with any classes. Please, again, give us those details. We will update your records based on what you submit on this survey. If you don't have an iPhone and you don't have a QR code reader, then you can type in this address. So please make note of this. So http://bit.ly/38ly capital A, capital P, lower level G. So again, take a picture of the screen, even if you don't have the QR code reader, so that you don't lose that URL. If you do happen to lose the URL, email us, transfer@uhcl.edu. Let us know that you watched the video and you couldn't get to the survey at the end. We'll give that to you. We'll make sure that you get the link. All right. So again, new students, your first day that you can enroll is April 16th, and that is for the upcoming semesters. We look forward to assisting you. Thank you again for your time and welcome to UH Clear Lake.